Hello, and welcome back to Game Pulse. We've had an incredible year in gaming, with massive AAA releases like Starfield, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Baldur's Gate 3 dominating headlines. But if you're only playing the blockbusters, you might be missing out on some truly special experiences that don't always get the same spotlight. Today, we're diving into the unsung heroes of the gaming world, those hidden gems that flew under the radar while the bigger titles stole all the attention. I'm Tanzila, and here are the top 10 hidden gems you may have missed this year. Let's jump right in. Kicking off our list at number 10 is Signalis, a game that takes the best parts of classic survival horror and wraps them in a beautifully crafted retro-futuristic world. You might not have heard of this title amidst the noise of the year's major releases, but trust me, if you're a fan of eerie atmospheres, methodical gameplay, and deeply unsettling narratives, Signalis is a must-play. The game draws heavy inspiration from survival horror classics like Silent Hill and Resident Evil, but with a unique pixel art aesthetic that sets it apart. In Signalis, you play as Elster, a replica unit stranded on an eerie, abandoned facility on a cold and desolate planet. The game's minimalistic yet striking art style combines with a haunting soundtrack to create a sense of dread that permeates every room you explore. As with the classics it draws inspiration from, resource management is key. You'll need to conserve ammo, pick your battles carefully, and solve puzzles to uncover the dark secrets of the facility. The beauty of Signalis lies in its ability to combine old-school gameplay mechanics with modern psychological horror storytelling. It's not just about surviving the monsters lurking in the dark, but unraveling a mystery that plays with your perception of reality. There are multiple endings to uncover, depending on your choices, so there's plenty of replay value here. Signalis may have slipped under the radar for many, but for fans of atmospheric horror, it's an absolute gem. Next up is Cassette Beasts, a game that brings back those nostalgic vibes of classic monster collecting games like Pokémon, but with a twist that makes it truly unique. In Cassette Beasts, you don't simply capture monsters in Pokeballs, you record their essence on cassette tapes. Yes, you heard that right, cassette tapes. In this world, you can play these tapes to transform into the creatures you've captured, utilizing their abilities in battle. One of the coolest features in Cassette Beasts is the fusion mechanic, which allows you to combine two creatures into one, creating entirely new hybrids with unique abilities and appearances. The combinations are endless, and discovering new fusions is incredibly satisfying. This isn't just a gimmick. The fusion system adds a whole new layer of strategy to the game, as you'll need to experiment with different pairings to create the perfect team for your playstyle. Set on the mysterious island of New Wirral, Cassette Beasts is an open-world RPG filled with quirky characters, turn-based battles, and plenty of exploration. The hand-drawn art style gives the game a vibrant, colorful feel, while the soundtrack, full of catchy tunes, adds to the retro charm. Don't be fooled by its lighthearted appearance, though. Cassette Beast has a surprisingly deep and rewarding combat system that'll keep you hooked for hours. If you grew up with Pokémon but want something fresh and different, this is one hidden gem you shouldn't miss. At number 8, we have Venba, a beautiful story-driven cooking game that's as much about family and culture as it is about preparing food. In Venba, you step into the shoes of a mother who has immigrated from India to Canada, and through the act of cooking traditional Indian dishes, you explore themes of identity, heritage, and the immigrant experience. It's a game that's packed with heart and emotional depth, told through food. Venba uses the process of cooking as a storytelling mechanic, with each dish you prepare tied to a memory or an important moment in Venba's life. The recipes are based on real Indian cuisine, and you'll need to follow step-by-step instructions to recreate them in the game. As you cook, you'll also be dealing with incomplete or damaged recipes, a metaphor for the challenge of holding on to cultural traditions in a foreign land. You'll have to use your intuition to fill in the gaps and recreate the dishes from memory. The art style in Venba is charming and colorful, with a warm, hand-drawn aesthetic that perfectly complements the game's themes. The soundtrack, inspired by Indian classical music, sets the tone for each scene, creating an immersive experience that pulls you into Venba's world. While the gameplay is relatively simple, it's the emotional storytelling that makes Venba stand out. If you're looking for a game that's as much about heart as it is about mechanics, Venba is a hidden gem you won't want to miss. If you're a fan of action-adventure games in the style of Zelda, then Tunic is a game that should be on your radar. Don't be fooled by the adorable fox protagonist. Tunic is a tough, intricate, and deeply rewarding experience that combines exploration, combat, and puzzle solving in a way that's both familiar and fresh. With its isometric perspective, beautiful, cel-shaded visuals, and mysterious, dreamlike world, Tunic pulls you in from the moment you start. The game takes place in a vast and dangerous world filled with secrets to uncover. It doesn't hold your hand. Instead, it encourages you to explore, experiment, and piece together its many cryptic elements. The combat is challenging, requiring careful timing and strategy, especially in the game's many boss battles. But Tunic isn't just about combat, it's also about uncovering the mysteries of the world around you. There are hidden paths, puzzles, and lore scattered throughout the game, many of which require a keen eye and a willingness to think outside the box. One of the most intriguing aspects of Tunic is its in-game manual, which is written in an entirely fictional language. As you explore, you'll find pages of the manual that offer hints and instructions, but it's up to you to interpret them. This adds a layer of mystery and discovery that makes Tunic feel truly unique. It's a game that rewards patience, curiosity, and a love of exploration. If you're looking for a hidden gem with depth and challenge, Tunic is a game that deserves your attention. At number 6, we have Citizen Sleeper, an indie RPG that blends narrative-driven gameplay with elements of tabletop role-playing games. In Citizen Sleeper, you play as a sleeper, a digitized human consciousness trapped in an artificial body, trying to survive on a space station in the far future. The station, known as Erlin's Eye, is a crumbling, lawless outpost controlled by powerful corporations, and your goal is to carve out a life for yourself while avoiding those who want to control or exploit you. The game's mechanics are heavily inspired by tabletop RPGs, with dice rolls determining the outcome of your actions. Each day, you'll need to decide how to allocate your dice, balancing the need to work, maintain your body, and pursue various storylines. The dice rolling mechanic adds a layer of tension to every decision. You'll never have enough resources to do everything, so you'll need to make tough choices about where to focus your efforts. What sets Citizen Sleeper apart is its writing. The game is filled with richly detailed characters and stories, each exploring themes of identity, survival, and what it means to be human in a world dominated by technology and corporate greed. The relationships you build with the station's inhabitants are central to the experience, and your choices will shape the outcome of the story in meaningful ways. If you're a fan of narrative-driven games with a unique cyberpunk setting, Citizen Sleeper is a hidden gem that you shouldn't overlook. Coming in at number 5 is Norco, a narrative adventure game that takes players on a surreal journey through the American South. Set in a dystopian version of Louisiana, Norco blends elements of Southern Gothic literature with a point-and-click adventure format to create a game that's equal parts strange and beautiful. If you're a fan of deeply atmospheric, story-driven games like Kentucky Route Zero, you'll find a lot to love in Norco. The game's story revolves around a young woman named Kay, who returns to her hometown of Norco after her mother's death. As she uncovers the mysteries surrounding her family and the town, she gets drawn into a strange and unsettling world where technology and nature have merged in unexpected ways. The game's pixel art style perfectly captures the decaying beauty of its world, while the moody, synth-heavy soundtrack adds to the sense of unease. Norco isn't just about its narrative, though. It also features engaging puzzles and exploration, with plenty of hidden details to uncover as you navigate its strange and dreamlike environments. The game's writing is sharp, poetic, and filled with dark humor, making it one of the most unique and memorable gaming experiences of the year. If you're looking for something off the beaten path that will stick with you long after you've finished playing, Norco is a hidden gem that's well worth your time. At number 4, we have Weird West, a dark and twisted take on the classic Wild West setting, with a supernatural twist. Developed by Wolf Eye Studios, Weird West blends immersive sim gameplay with action RPG mechanics, giving players the freedom to approach situations in a variety of ways. Whether you prefer stealth, combat, or creative use of the environment, Weird West offers plenty of opportunities to make the game your own. The game's story is split into several character-driven arcs, each focusing on a different protagonist with their own unique abilities and motivations. From a bounty hunter to a werewolf, each character's journey is intertwined with the others, creating a larger narrative that unfolds over time. The choices you make throughout the game will have lasting consequences, shaping not only your character's story but also the world around you. One of the standout features of Weird West is its dynamic world, where nearly everything can be interacted with or used to your advantage. Want to start a fire to flush out enemies? Go ahead. Need to sneak through a town undetected? Disguise yourself as one of the locals. The game encourages experimentation and rewards creative thinking, making each playthrough feel unique. If you're a fan of immersive sims like Dishonored or Prey, Weird West is a hidden gem that delivers on its promise of a wild, unpredictable adventure. Coming in at number 3 is Chained Echoes, a love letter to the golden age of JRPGs. Developed by a solo dev, Chained Echoes is a turn-based RPG that harkens back to the classics of the SNES era, with a focus on exploration, story, and strategic combat. The game's pixel art is beautifully detailed, capturing the nostalgia of old-school RPGs, while also feeling fresh and modern. Set in the war-torn land of Volandis, Chained Echoes follows a group of characters as they navigate political intrigue, ancient technology, and mysterious forces that threaten the world. The game's story is rich and layered, with plenty of twists and turns to keep you engaged from start to finish. What sets Chained Echoes apart from other RPGs is its deep, rewarding combat system, which combines traditional turn-based mechanics with unique features like Overdrive, a system that encourages careful management of your actions to avoid overheating in battle. The game also features a world filled with secrets to uncover, from hidden dungeons to powerful enemies that will test your skills. Whether you're piloting giant mechs, battling dragons, or exploring ancient ruins, Chained Echoes delivers a classic RPG experience that feels both familiar and exciting. If you're a fan of games like Chrono Trigger or Final Fantasy VI, Chained Echoes is a hidden gem that deserves a place in your library. At number 2, we have Sifu, a martial arts brawler that's as stylish as it is challenging. In Sifu, you play as a young martial artist seeking revenge for the death of your family. But there's a catch. Each time you die, your character ages. As you grow older, you become more powerful, but also more fragile, and you'll need to master the game's combat system before time runs out. The combat in Sifu is fast-paced, fluid, and incredibly satisfying, with a focus on parries, dodges, and counters. You'll need to read your opponents carefully, as each enemy has their own fighting style and tactics. The game's environments are also designed to be used to your advantage. You can throw enemies through windows, smash them with furniture, or use your surroundings to set up devastating combos. What makes Sifu truly unique is its aging mechanic. Each time you die, you age a few years, and while this makes you stronger in some ways, it also limits your health and stamina. You'll need to balance aggression with caution, learning when to fight and when to retreat. The game's difficulty is punishing, but the sense of accomplishment when you finally master a tough fight is incredibly rewarding. If you're a fan of martial arts films and action games that test your skill, Sifu is a hidden gem that you won't want to miss. And finally, taking the top spot on our list is Inscryption, a game that defies all expectations and genres. At first glance, Inscryption looks like a simple deck-building roguelike, but it quickly becomes something much deeper and more twisted. Developed by Daniel Mullins, the creator of Pony Island, Inscryption blends elements of card games, escape room puzzles, and psychological horror to create an experience that's unlike anything else you'll play this year. The game begins with you playing a card game against a mysterious opponent in a dark, cabin-like setting. But as you play, it becomes clear that there's more going on beneath the surface. The game constantly subverts your expectations, introducing new mechanics, story twists, and meta-narrative elements that blur the line between the game and reality. One of the most striking aspects of Inscryption is its ability to create a sense of unease and tension, even during its card battles. The stakes feel high, and every decision you make can lead to unexpected consequences. The game's narrative unfolds in layers, with each new revelation pulling you deeper into its twisted world. Without giving too much away, Inscryption is a game that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about video games. If you're a fan of games that push the boundaries of storytelling and gameplay, Inscryption is an absolute must-play. It's a hidden gem that deserves all the attention it's been getting, and it's one of the most innovative games to come out this year. And that wraps up our list of the top 10 hidden gems you may have missed this year. These games might not have the marketing budgets of the big AAA titles, but they're packed with creativity, heart, and unforgettable experiences. If you're looking for something new and unique to play, I highly recommend giving these hidden gems a shot. If you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Game Pulse for more gaming recommendations, news, and reviews. Let us know in the comments which hidden gem you're most excited to try, or if we missed any of your favorites. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.